Good morning guys, this is Anne from Body Gallery. Today I'm going to show you how I make friendship bracelets. These are actually made from acrylic wool or cotton, the crochet cotton. And with crochet cotton you can actually get it in different thicknesses. This one's a fairly thin one. I quite like it. It makes a really nice fine bracelet. But I'll show you one that I make from the acrylic wool, which is very hard wearing and looks really pretty when you wear it too. I have a tendency of doing a lot of multicolored wool, acrylic wool, which when you put it together, it gives two different looks, like you've got two different bands on, but it's actually the one strand of wool that does it because it changes color. But I'll show you how I do those. Really easy, really simple. So I have a tendency of cutting a lot of different colors, and this length, which the length is, I can't remember what length it is now. Let me see if I can sort of measure it. I think it's about 10 to 34, maybe 25 inches, around 25 inches long. Anyway, the best way I think that you can measure when you decide that you want to make them for whomever, if you get a piece of wool, wind around the person's wrist. It will go around, there's two, it usually is about four. So there's 1, 2, 3, 3.5 to 4, or 3 3/4. So 1, 2, 3, plus a little bit here, plus a little bit there. So almost 4. It's pretty good to sort of go 4 times around a wrist. And it depends on the thickness of the wrist. If you're doing a child, it's going to be smaller. You still need to go around about 4 times, but you'll find the length of the wool will be smaller, of course. If it's for a larger person, still around 4 times, and you're going to have to measure it anyway until you get to understand what length is small, medium, or large. Now, with your wool, 3 pieces. So you pick your colours. I've got lots and lots of colours. As I said, I will just cut a whole heap and put it together. And that includes your acrylic wools plus your cotton that I use for the crocheting cotton. But today I'm going to grab a couple of colours. I'm going to take a yellow, and I'm going to take one of the multicoloured pieces of wool that I've got. Maybe this one. So I'm going to show you. See how it goes from a purple to the pink, to a yellow, then a white, the blue, the purple, the pink, the yellow again, right? Really pretty wool, but when you actually work with that, it will change colour through the band, and it's really nice. So I'm going to put a yellow with it, and maybe I might get a dark green. So I'll get a dark green to go with it. Pop those aside. Now, I like to work on glass. I know it's a bit bright, I'm really sorry, but with your wool, I find when you're cutting it, it's always going to be a different length each piece because you're sort of doing it really fast. Some wools are a little bit more pliable than others. Some are quite solid. Some of your crochet cotton won't give. So you're always going to have different lengths. Now, the way I solve this instead of doing this and then having this over, because you need it even, take your piece, right? I put it over here. Bring it to each end, hold it, all right? Do that with each piece and it will be even at this end. Once you've done that, hold it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a loop because you need the loop in the middle. And I find if you just put your finger around there, put your nail sort of so that this is about the size that you need for the loop, because it's going to be smaller once you actually work with it. Put your finger here, hold it. Now this end here is going to be shorter. If you have a look, right, it will be shorter at this end. With one of your strands, pick it up, hold the other two strands between your fingers, pop your strand through like you're going to actually sew. So put it through like you've got a needle, pull it towards you, right? You've now started a locking system just here. It's like a little knot, but it's not quite a knot. So it's a locking system. Now between here and where we measured around our finger, like that, we're actually going to lock it in further and start your loop. Now your loop is just going to be, it's just a plait, right? And that's what this whole band is a plait. All right, so I'm going to put the shorter bit up here, and I have really good little clip. I like this kind of bull clip because it's got straight edge and it holds really nicely and nothing slips through. When you're actually plaiting, make sure that it's nice and flat, okay? Because you don't want anything twisting on your plait. Start your plait off. Now be firm with your plait, not tight but not loose. So be firm. Start your plait. Now just remember something, when you're plaiting, not only are you plaiting at the top, but you will be plaiting at the bottom. So don't allow that to plait. So bring your finger through so that you unplait the bottom. Plait, plait, plait. Okay, bring it through again. Now what you're trying to do is create the little loop. Now that's going to be too small, so you'll know that you need to do it maybe double that. All right, depending on your ply of wool, these are an 8. Yeah, these are an 8. Are they an 8 ply? Yeah, they're an 8 ply. I probably do anywhere between 20 and 30 on each section here when I'm creating the loop, depending, as I said, on the ply of the wool or on your crochet cotton. I've made you a little loop. That's what we need, all right, so that you can actually put your end through once you've finished. Now once I've done that, I need to again make sure that it's not going to fall apart. So I'm going to put Again, the same way I did with here. Take that off, put it on this. I really like this sort of design hook. We've just made your loop. Now we're going to do that same knot so that it can actually stay in one spot. So grab a piece, make sure that knot that you've just done, are actually together. Bring it up, make sure it's always at the top, not down here, and bring it through that way, because this here will be going up that way. So you always need to go up the top of what you're doing and bring your piece back down. Make sure your loop is underneath those two knots. So make sure your knots are in place. Bring your system, your knot system down. Make it firm, but don't pull it too tight. Best tool you've got, probably nails. Okay, at doing this kind of work. Okay, so now you've got that start of that first little loop that you need to actually work with your band when you're going through to tie it on. All right, make sure these are all nice and straight. We're now gonna seal this system off so it won't come apart. I usually do about 8 times of a piece, these pieces to go into the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, don't forget the base here, don't let it knot up. Now, you've got 2 pieces here. You don't want to do your knot with 2 pieces. So take one of them, take it up over the top and bring it back into the middle. So you're going to actually now lock this part of your system in, so that when you go to do the next section, it's not going to fall apart. Bring it down to the bottom of your plait, tighten it off, and make sure everything's nice and straight. Now you're going to split it because there's 6. Make sure that your 3 colours are on one side, your 3 colours are on the other side. Again, I use this clip. So, make sure again, these are nice and straight so you don't twist. Okay, start plaiting. All right, again, firm, not tight, but not loose. It has to be quite firm. I have a tendency, I've been plaiting for many years, when I actually hold this, I allow my fingers to actually go down through. So it gives a bit of a pull, but nothing too heavy, but enough to keep it firm. Right, so when you're going through, see how pretty the colours blend. And that's because that colour that I got, that has got the multicolour, it changes colour through it and it looks really, really pretty. Now, if you really don't know the amount that has to go to around a wrist, it's about now that you should look. There's your loop that you have to put it through. This is the part of the band. It's nowhere near what you need. You need to have that sitting about there, right, before you could actually finish your thing. Now doing this, which has got my cow and everything, it's actually got lines. So I know with my medium This here, I need to go down to here, right, with the top of the, just below the top of the cowl, right, and it's not there yet. You can sort of make up a board. You can put lines in it, you know, until you get to know. I just know now how far to go. Okay, so it's gone from blue to purple to the pink. Now I'm gonna section this part off. I'm gonna lock it off. Again, right, up the top, through, and pull it down. Okay, a little bit of a tug, not too much, not too hard. Push your locking part in, your little knot, pull it through. Right, so that's your first one. Now we're going to do the other side, and we need to make it to that length, because we're actually going to do a little bit more plaiting to keep those two together. Again, make sure this is quite flat, and start your plaiting off, being firm. Don't forget, don't let it knot up at the bottom. Now see how the one strand of this that was on this side, see how it's starting to, it looks different because of the colours that came through it, but it looks so pretty when you use that multicoloured wool. And I usually do use a lot of the multicolour. I have all sorts of different colours. I've got the black and greys, I've got the fluoro ones like this, right through to, oh no, what else have I got? I've got the maroon colours. Yeah, anyway, there's heaps of them. And when you put a couple of plain colours with it, or even if you put a whole heap of multicolours, it looks really cool. So, now that we've done that, I've come down to this, to the same length. Grab one of your pieces, the last one that you did on the right or the left, whatever left hand, right hand you are. Take this one, see if it's aligned. Don't pull it, don't stretch it, all right? So just hold it. If it's in alignment, you know that that's the right length that you need to actually do. That needs to have just the slightest bit more, all right? Okay, now that's going to put that knot together. So again, the top, bring it through right down to the bottom of where you actually did that. Give it a bit of a tug. Now those knots are perfectly next to each other. Grab one of your pieces to actually tie it back off again. To make it a little bit more solid, bring down your piece up underneath those two knots so that you're actually locking it in. Right? Now, there's your two-piece strand. Again, I'm going to actually just give it a couple of plaits to give it a nice little shape. And then, again, I'm going to lock it off at the bottom of your plait. Now, this, oh, 2 greens are no good to me. I need 1 green, 1 yellow. That's it. This, I don't know where, oh yes, here it is. I'm going to grab this. Forceps. I like my forceps. I actually clamp them on, put it out of the way, and then just plait these, because these are what you need to be able to go through that loop. And that can make it shorter or longer for you. And if these part of the thing that you need to go through the loop, if they're too long, take it up to where you need it to go and then cut them off. But make sure you actually put an end so that it doesn't come apart. So you need to put a little knot in it, or you need to do this when you cut it off, just to give it that locking system. Again, get this out of the way and just plait the other side. And your band is basically done. Once I finish plaiting this off, if you really want the plaits to be even, of course, once it gets to about here and you know that you should measure it, it needs to go a lot longer if you want it to be even. And it doesn't really matter if it's even or if it's not even. Most of the time I like mine to be even. I make a lot of these to sell at markets and at festivals. Children and adults love these. So yeah, usually people will buy 3, 4, even up to 6 to wear on their wrist. Okay, so now that's done. So all I have to do now is to get this looking a little tidy. So I'll just cut it off. Right, so that's all done. It looks really pretty, multicolored. Doesn't look too bad. You put it on, you put that section through your loop. It's a bit hard when you're doing it yourself, but yeah, you put it through the loop and then you knot it off to the length that you really want. Yeah. Looks good. Hope you liked the video, guys. I will do another video on other bits and pieces. I make lots of jewellery. Might make different kinds of friendship bands. I put things into the friendship bands. Sometimes these ones, I'll put different things into it. So actually I'll put a black cloth down so it doesn't, not so shiny. So yeah, so I'll put, you know, this one here's got an eye in it. Looks really pretty. Once you're making like this, but before you do your section at the bottom here, you place this into it, just like you can put beads into it. You can do lots and lots of things. So it's a really good basic design. You can either dress it up or dress it down. It's like a good shirt, I suppose. All right, guys. Hope you have a really good day. Hope you like my video. Like me if you like. Subscribe for me if you like. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.